Dun dun dun! Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jack and I am yet another Let's Player here on YouTube because it needed another one. Well, actually it didn't, but I decided it needed another one anyway, so I am here. And for my first Let's Play, I am doing a game that I think gets a little bit too much hate. This is Sonic the Hedgehog for the Xbox 360 and the version I'm playing, the PlayStation 3. This was released in 2006 to unanimous negativity. And I'm here to explain why I don't think that it's the worst thing in the world or even the worst Sonic game. That's not to say this game is good, but I'm here to say why I don't think it is as bad as many people say it is. So, welcome to the Let's Play of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Well, since I'm playing the PlayStation 3 version, in Europe it's 2007. But regardless, a la Sonic Adventure, well not Adventure 2, but Heroes, no just Adventure actually, Adventure was the only one where you had to start as Sonic, and we have to do it again. We're starting with Sonic, he's the only one available with it from the beginning, so let's get started.
It's all right. We give thanks for the blessed flames. May we always continue to have peace. Son of Soliana, guide and watch over us with your eternal light.
I wonder who this could possibly be. Oh yeah, there he is. What the?
Pleasure to meet you at last, Princess of Soliana.
Who are you?
I am Dr Eggman.
No, you're not.
I've come here to obtain the secret of the flames of disaster from you, and to take the miracle gems that are the key to its secret. The Chaos.
What do they do to you, Eggman?
Now, Princess, this way, please.
That's a pretty snazzy performance there. I'm Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Not that irritating hedgehog again! Attack!
I finally found him. The Iblis Trigger.
That cutscene was awesome. Unfortunately, the next cutscene doesn't look so awesome. Oh, don't worry, no property damage whatsoever. Because when the cutscene begins, Everything's fine.
Why are you helping me?
No special reason.
Sonic!
I'm afraid our little game ends now.
Sonic! Take this!
I've got it! And don't worry, I'll rescue you!
I know.
How do you know? You just met him.
It's only a matter of time before it's mine. Until then, you can hold on to it for me.
And yes, folks, that is this game's well, not even the equivalent. This is this game's egg carrier, which I'm grateful no longer looks like a giant nose from Sonic Adventure, but it still doesn't look intimidating at all. Sonic, are you going to chase after it, Sonic? It was flying away. You have a plane. What are we doing in Sonic Adventure? We went after it in the plane. Why don't we go and do that again? Why do we need to wait until the morning in order to collect information about Dr. Eggman? We know who he is. Well, that guy claims to be Eggman. That's clearly not Eggman. I know what Eggman looks like. And that's not Eggman. But no, we decided to wait until the following day. And I don't even know why we don't just go to the next cutscene. We literally have to walk.
What's Eggman up to? I need to gather some
No, you
information.
don't. We literally have to walk a few meters. That's why I'm not turning the volume down. So what we have to do is walk over its tail over here. And boom. There we are. Not boom. Not boom. Forget boom.
Sonic!
Tails! Long time no see.
I'm glad you're here. I heard that you tried to save their princess from Dr. Eggman. You're going to rescue her, aren't you? Let me help. I may not know what Eggman's up to, but it can't be a good thing.
Okay, with your help, this should be a piece of cake.
I'll do my best.
Pay real close attention to the ending of that cutscene. As it fades away, Sonic's model actually stays still in his running animation, which is stupid. But anyway, folks, this is a load screen. Don't really need to say that. The problem is that they are really long, and because I'm playing the PS3 version, they are a good 10 to 15 seconds longer. The average loading screen in this game is 15 to 20 seconds on the Xbox 360. It is about 25 to 30 seconds on the PlayStation 3. And it's not the length of the loading screens that's the problem, it's just that there's so many of them. It's horrendous how many there are. In areas that I don't even know why it needs to load. But anyway, in terms of controls, we're dealing with a Sonic Adventure game here. Sonic can run around, he can jump, which is actually quite floaty in this game. Not as floaty as Adventure, but the jump works pretty well. We can still homing attack, which can actually be steered in this game. It's the only game where you can do that. And it also has an increased range, I think. By pressing the square button, Sonic can do a little kick. Do it standing still or whilst moving. When standing still, if you hold down the square button, Sonic can perform the spin dash, which is pretty useless. He can't jump when using it at all. You can only do it when standing still. If you want to cancel out of it, you simply have to press the square button again. Just like that. Sometimes Sonic will go into his kick again, I don't know why. The main issue with the controls here, however, are that they are really precise. I mean, they're better than the ice physics of Shadow the Hedgehog, but they are really precise. And it might just be me, but I swear they're twice as precise in the air. It's fine when you're jumping, because you're slowing down. But if something's launched you in the air, or if, when you're playing as Tails, you're flying, the controls feel twice as precise as they do on the floor. But anyway, we need to get to the next level, to the first level in the game, and in order to do that, we need the Lightspeed Dash, which despite being a natural ability in both Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog, it's not here. So we need to talk to this guy. This is Robert Alberto. The human animations and their models are terrible. My name is Robert Alberto. Alberto Robert. I'm so horribly programmed that I don't even remember my own name. And I've been making shoes in this town for a very long time. I'm making the ultimate shoes now. These shoes use the power of Soliana's mysterious stones to change. I'm calling them custom shoes. 10 hours of thought went into that name, you know. But there is no one that can test the full potential of these shoes. Is there anyone who can test the design of these shoes? Obviously, I'm talking directly to you, so you know I am asking you to test them. Will you be able to do that? Really? Oh, the town missions. The issue, the loading screens. Let's go through them here. 1 loading screen. And all of them have their enormous length. And this is completely pointless. He didn't exactly tell us what we need to do. So what does it do? It makes us go through a 30-second loading screen, so it puts him in a slightly different part of the hub world for this one, I repeat, 1 paragraph. Put on the shoes and go through the rings. If I've made the shoes correctly, you'll make it on time. What the hell was that? This one isn't quite as long, but it's still pretty long. Why didn't he just tell us that in the first place? Why do we need another loading screen? Anyway, this looks familiar. Precise controls, going through rings. We're under a time limit, so clearly there's no time to waste. And just like Superman 64, this is a good third of the town missions right here. Going through a load of rings. Thankfully, this is the only one which is mandatory. That's what I meant. They feel twice as precise in the air as they do on the ground. That spring is always launching Sonic forwards. You need to maneuver him in the air or he won't go through all of those rings. I don't know why it launches Sonic forward, but it does. Now we have to go through another loading screen. Amazing! They performed exactly as I thought. My custom shoes are complete. And surprised there's no loading screen here, actually. I will give you these shoes. You'll be able to use them. Money? I don't want any money. I'm happy just knowing that they're being used. And surprisingly, shut up! These stones that you can fit into these shoes are called gems, and you can buy them at the shop over there. They're very rare, but if you put one of these custom shoes, they will give you an entirely new ability. My ring sucks. The best shoes in the world, worn by the best runner in the world. I'm so happy. Thank you. But no loading screen. It simply pauses for a second, and then it goes into the results screen straight away. And with that time bonus, plus the score of the rings, that's more than 30,000, which is what we need to get our S rank. And the higher your rank, the more rings you get. And you'll need rings to purchase stuff in the shops. As you were saying, there are plenty of stones that you can use on Sonic's custom shoes. But we can't afford them yet, except for one. You'll always get rings, even if you get a D rank. You need 100 to get the Lightspeed Dash, and the D rank does just that. But now we have to go through another loading screen to take us back to the hub world. For one town mission, that is 4 long loading screens. 4. And many of the town missions have loading screens in them. So some of these missions, you could probably make a whole YouTube video that'll go on for a good 7-8 minutes on just the one town mission because of these loading screens. Also, I do apologize for my reading. I'm a bad reader. I suck. But anyway, press the square button and talk to this guy. Now we can get the light chip. Sonic, what happened to your ability to use the Lightspeed Dash from the previous games? You somehow lost it after Adventure, got a better one in Adventure 2, kept it for Heroes, Shadow kept his for Shadow the Hedgehog, and he's lost it as well. Spoiler warning, you play a Shadow in this game. But now we can enter the first stage. Anyone with a little marker over their head, you can talk to. Blue ones are town missions. Orange ones I think are a bit more plot important, but you don't need to talk to them. Yellow ones are just there. So we have these guys, which all look the same, and they are pretty much the police. And they make Chief Wiggum look like the world's greatest police officer. Also, if you're thinking that anything looks really slow, this game suffers from a lot of slowdown, and it's happening right now. Please wait until the construction is completed. There we go. And it immediately finishes. This is a silver medal. I'm not going to be collecting them yet. They don't do anything. There's a bunch of them hidden around the hub worlds. There's 10 in each level. They do nothing but get you gold medals, which is pretty much this game's equivalent to emblems, only they don't do anything either. Still got the hidden rings of Sonic Heroes, but for now, let's head out to the first level as the ring trail. We need to use the light speed dash. Doesn't matter what way Sonic is facing, he can do the light speed dash. Unique to this ring trail, he never actually does finish it. He never goes along the whole thing. It's the only ring trail where he does that, but I never got it. Anyway, jump to this mirror, jump into this mirror. And that sends us to the first stage, Wave Ocean. Pursue the egg carrier. And with another loading screen. And you know what? I'm convinced the loading screens are this long because of that little arrow and making all the letters bigger and everything. I'm convinced the reason these loading screens take this long is because it's loading that arrow every single time.
I gotta hurry and save Elise.
No you don't, Sonic. You really, really don't. Alright, you can maneuver Sonic on the water. Gotta jump in order to get up here. I've never been able to steer my way. Go through the rainbow hoop. Get you some points. Be careful where you are when you... Be careful where you're positioned when you go through that loop, and don't take the dash pads there. A lot of the time you will just end up clipping right through the rock. This looks familiar. We've seen this in Adventure 2. And if this is looking familiar overall, well, Wave Ocean is pretty much Emerald Coast. It's just Emerald Coast. By the way, Sonic has a little spinning animation there when he jumps from pillar to pillar. Just wait until a bit later on. Rail grinding is pretty much automatic. You can make Sonic do a little spin like he's accelerating. I don't think it really does anything. Right, you need to use the kick in order to get through this. Here's the thing, when you do it, Sonic gains a little bit of speed and it can throw you off quite easily actually. Sonic can run along this wall. You can homing attack onto this wall. Oh, I don't want to collect that silver medal. Oh well. I have it now. Jump down here. Nice. Bounce off all the springs. Sonic really doesn't run very fast in this game. The only times he ever does are in automatic sections. That's what she said. Right, is this going to work this time? Last time I did this, this pathway didn't load. Okay, it worked that time. Hold right there, by the way, otherwise Sonic will go past the dash ramp. Dash pad, whatever. I do like how this Orca was waiting patiently for us to grab a hold of his fin. Also, the splash graphics are terrible. A lot of the graphical additions are pretty bad in this game. You've seen the dolphins jumping around. Their animations are terrible. But anyway, we are now in control of miles per hour, or Tails, and this is his top speed. About half of that of the super slow Sonic. The only way to go fast is to fly, and well, remember how I said the controls feel twice as precise in the air? Well, this is where you notice it. Oh, that ring is touching the robot. You should be dead. There we go. Tails' only form of attack is throwing dummy ring bombs. Look at that dolphin's animation. The ring bombs are pretty useless overall. You can't properly aim. You do have homing properties when you do that, but it's not very effective. Hold down the button, you can go into a rather annoying first-person mode. It doesn't really do anything. I don't really find any use in aiming for it unless the enemy's above me. When you fly, Tails controls really loosely. He falls like a rock, by the way. You can still throw dummy ring bombs, but Tails doesn't really aim with them at all when he's flying. And a lot of the time, the rings will hit the enemies and do absolutely nothing. Like when you do that, it does home in, but it's still not very effective. Right, is there an extra life or anything around there? Nope. exclusive to Tails' version of the stage. There would be a ring box there, but now it's placed a little further ahead. A little further behind. Also, the gravity in this game is terrible. Because you'll be noticing, when you see something like that, the gravity in this game is awful. Don't attack one on this platform, by the way. You will break it. Shut up, Sonic. Alright, what we want to do is we want to hit this red one. And hit it 2 times. We get bonus points when we destroy a certain number of enemies at once. There are times where defeating one enemy will wipe out all of them. It's similar to the golden egg knights from Sonic Heroes. Only this time you can't always be sure what enemy it is. By the way, these rings will cause slowdown. Not too bad, but it will cause it. I will say that dummy ring attack is more effective than it was in Sonic Heroes, where it was the attack Tails would do if he wasn't with his teammates. Anyway, we hit the switch.
Tails, you saved me.
And now we can go on to the next part of the stage. Once Sonic jumps off of this orca, which I'm pretty sure can just swim right under that game. In fact, why didn't they do it before? I thought they were supposed to be intelligent. They are. But not this one. This one's brain damaged. Anyway. In Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, this would be about 4-second pause. In DX, about 2 seconds. In Sonic 06, we actually have proper loading screens within the stages themselves. Just to get on to the next section. Wave Ocean's not so bad. For Sonic, it only contains 1 loading screen, but some of them can have a good 4 loading screens. And now it is time for one of Sonic's super speed stages. Hold forward when you go over that ramp, by the way, otherwise you will die. Which it doesn't tell you. It's the only time you ever need to hold forward. Sonic is always running. You can't speed him up, you can't slow him down. He has no spinning animation when he jumps from these pillars. He's going into it head first. And he doesn't even land on them. He is standing in the air. Which is just terrible. Early footage of this game showed Sonic had a running animation. What happened to it? The collision detection on these trees are awful. I have had plenty of times where I have just gotten hurt when there was nothing there. You can maneuver Sonic left and right. You can make him jump. He'll jump further if you hold down the button. And you can't maneuver Sonic in the air. There's a second pathway there. You just got to simply hold left the entire time. Sonic will clip through the railing for it. Just make sure you don't hit anything. Alright, with this loop, you gotta try and be on the left side of it, otherwise Sonic will miss the upcoming dash ramp. But make sure you're not too far to the loop or you will just go sailing right off. And jumping, sometimes the dash ramp will just launch Sonic over to the beach. It doesn't matter where he lands, just as long as he lands on the beach, it'll count as him touching the goal ring. But anyway, that's the end of the stage. And if we get 50,000, which I'm pretty sure I have done, oh, well over, we get ourselves the S rank. And that is the end of Emerald Coast, Wave Ocean. 60,000, it's pretty good.
That was incredible.
I do think that's actually one of the best stages in the game. Now, a rip-off it may be, I think Wave Ocean is pretty enjoyable. It has enough on its own merits to make it stand out from Emerald Coast, but it's still pretty apparent that it is Emerald Coast. And this is a Soliana gold medal. It's pretty much this game's equivalent to emblems. Each stage has 5 of them. 1 for completing it, 1 for the S rank, 1 for hard mode, 1 for hard mode's S rank, and 1 for collecting all 10 silver medals. I only picked up 1 and I didn't even mean to do that. I'm not bothering with the silver medals right now. I probably won't show them off. I might not even go for them, because they don't do anything. Collecting all the gold medals doesn't do anything. With that said, it's time to move on. We've completed Wave Ocean. Was there a purpose? Why didn't we just get in the tornado and chase after the air carrier is beyond me. And there's a consequence to that as well, by the way. A really annoying consequence.
It looks like the princess was moved to another location. Let's head back to the city.
Thank you for stating the blindingly obvious. Why didn't we just get in the tornado and chase after the egg carrier? Like we did twice in Sonic Adventure. All we needed to do was just give it some landing gear. So why didn't we just take the tornado and chase after the egg carrier? Instead of making that level a complete waste of time. And we're going to be seeing that quite a few times in this game, folks. So we're now going back to Soliana. And we just completely wasted our time. Why? But anyway, we're in a different part of the hub world now. It's still the same hub world. The hub worlds in this game are enormous, and that is not a good thing. Especially with Sonic's low speed. This one is called Castle Town. This is certainly the most maze-like of the hub worlds, but it's too bad to navigate unless you're doing town missions. This woman right here will give you one. Completely optional, you don't have to do this. I'm going to do all the optional town missions at a later point. These bridges though, these pillars can easily throw you off because the camera gets stuck on them. But in order to gain access to the next stage, we need to rescue this little girl. So let's just talk to the mayor. I'm guessing he's the mayor anyway. Lord Regis. Dr. Eggman, I don't have time for that right now. Please come back later. A little girl got up on a roof somehow, and she can't get down. And we never do know how she got up there. But unfortunately, in order to get there, we need to go under this wall. Tails can't just fly us out there. I don't even know what he's doing. And for some reason, we can't just leg sweep our way out there. Oh, cool. So instead,
you'll be able to save the girl.
We need to go over to the shop, which can take a while due to Sonic's slow speed. And Sonic is one of the faster characters in this game. But this is as fast as he ever goes outside of Super Speed Stage. Or Max Speed Stage, as everyone calls it. Go over to the shop, get past the slowdown. Now we gotta buy ourselves the anti-gravity. Okay, so we can't spin dash on the move, so we have this instead. Why can't we spin dash underneath that wall? But by holding the square button when moving, Sonic can perform the anti-gravity. Functions just like the spin dash, a bit more useful. Sometimes it will happen when I simply tap the button, so when I expect to do a slide, a little kick, Sonic will do a full slide. Just like the spin dash, you can cancel it by pressing the square button. But the thing is, when you buy the anti-gravity, the hitbox on this wall becomes a bit smaller. As Tails has just shown us, we can simply walk under it. They made the hitbox bigger, so we can just walk under it. Why couldn't we just go under it in the first place? It's simply done so we can get the anti-gravity, which we don't need because we can now walk under it. Francesca, how did you get up here? I'm sorry to make you worry. I heard Eggman was going to the desert, so I just wanted to keep watch from a high place. See, she can get under it. Unless she can do the anti-gravity as well, she can get under it. So why can't Sonic? I demand an answer. These end screens are really long. I'm probably just going to stop talking through. Unless I want to bring up something, I'm just going to stop talking through them and cut them. Nobody wants to keep sitting through all of these. And with that said, that is the end of the first part. Next time we meet up, we are going to rescue Princess Elise. Part 1. Because we are going to be rescuing her a lot. So, I will see you guys next time.